brought to you by GodSpeedNationBroadcast, for the universe is the sum total of all knowledge and the balance between all which is known and unknown. And welcome. Be sure to sign up if you haven't, and travel with Godspeed Light. With me, your host, Pomo, from Godspeed Nation. And tonight we're going to talk about how to think in the ancient mind frame, or some thinking hieroglyphs. And this was sparked upon the fact that it's my interpretation of the Metu based off of what I read and what I've learned throughout the years I studying it. And the way I do it is, I don't know if any of y'all got the Bible, but like if you can just get the book or any one of those books, and what you do is, I open it. And whenever you got a question or you're unsure about something, or you just need the ancestors to talk to you real fast, you just crack a book that you're most trusted in or that you believe in, just use the finger or the thumb, put it in the middle, open it up, and read. And surely, if you're in tune, 9 times out of 10, one with the ancestors, you will get an answer. And tonight is the start of a new series called How to Think in Hieroglyphs, where I will show you to think in wholes. I will show you to think in hieroglyphs. I will show you, or attempt to bring back the ancient mind frame that we all once had, that we have got away from due to reincarnations on this earth, birth, death, and just the simple act of forgetting over eons to eons of time. If any of y'all familiar with reincarnation. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to open up the book. Right now, I'm not going to have any, I don't have any particular topic in plan, but we're just going to crack the book. And I'm going to start reading, and we're going to give you a briefing about what that's saying. Okay. So, now that I cracked the book, this is what it's telling me. The stage of spiritual mastery, the 7th level of initiation. Through the performance of rituals with the divine intelligence governing death, which is Seker, S-E-K-E-R, the initiate dies to the things of the world, that he may be born to the powers of heaven. Life on earth is no more than a preparation for the living as a spiritual being. At some point, we must reorientate our perspective in life. The initiate here trades mortal life for immortality, human talents for spiritual power. In other words, there can be no mastery of spiritual power for those who are still in any way controlled by earthly existence. At this point, the initiate becomes a vessel through which the Supreme Being can bring about change in mankind. Basically what this is saying is that the 7th spirit is the control, is governed over imagination. And if you see spirits are level or etheric energy dynamics that we, like chakras, that we go from 1 to 9 or from 9 to 1. 1 to 9 is to be from heaven, incarnated on earth. 9 to 1 is to be up earth, trying to find heaven. So I always say for myself, I'm from heaven trying to figure this earthly stuff out. And the 7th level of initiation is that you got to die to the things of the world to gain spiritual power. And what they're saying is, like they say in the Bible, be in this world, but not of this world. And here, to die of the things of the world is to lose external, how could I put it, external connections, as I would say, or external pulls, which is that if anything on earth have a grasp on you, and you're trying to maneuver your way through the land, trying to figure things out, trust me, life is always going to present this thing that has this tie to you to really get you to come to grips with actually losing it. And then seeing how you would deal with losing the object or the thing of love or the thing of your attention. And then once life sees that you're able to deal with it in the correct manner, it will stop presenting that loss to you. But as long as you are attached to something, life is always going to present a situation where you're going to lose something. And when they say to die of the things of the world in order that you will gain spiritual power, meaning there's nothing can penetrate, like we say in GodSpeedNationBroadcast science, the bulletproof vest, meaning nothing gets in. So there's no entry wounds, there's no exit wounds. Meaning if I have on a bulletproof vest and someone shoots at me, which is in each turn a negative energy, it's not penetrating my essence. It's not penetrating my soul. So therefore, it doesn't shake my body. It doesn't go in and predetermine, like give me cancer or give me stress or make me sick. It just stays on the outside. I'm still able to perceive it and deal with it, but it's not soaking into my ether or my mind or my body to where their problem become my problem. You know, I can always deal with it with a proper frame of mind as long as it stays outside of me. Therefore, I'm not drained of my energy. And the way you do that is to actually let go. You have to let go. And to let go, you have to realize you have to let go fear. And then once you let go fear, the power is willed unto you by means of the fact that once you let go, the spirits are able to work with you. The spirits are able to lead you in different directions, or the ancestors are able to work with. And in my example of me letting go, we had there was an issue where back in the day I used to buy cars, you know, and this was a time when I was like hustling, you know, doing my little thing on the street, and I used to buy a lot of cars and stuff. But there's one particular car I had was a Chevy, you know, Impala, and it was fixed up and everything. And not normally 3 days after I had it, the police came and took it. There was an incident where a fellow of mine was in the car riding dirty, and they came and he threw it under the seat. They found they took the whole car, and I was very upset. But this is the time when I was in my lowest form, when I was birthed into my lower nature, when I quite knew that something was wrong with the world, but I didn't have the information to really figure it out. I just knew that I was a little different. But I was upset. And one thing I told myself is, well, this happens over and over and over. So what I'm going to have to do is actually time heals all. So a year from now, I'm going to laugh. So what I told myself is, I'm going to bring that time towards me right now, instead of going through the process of being sad and miserable about the object that I lost. I'm going to get over it right now. As soon as I lost it, I got over it. So what I did was blanked it out of my mind. It never really existed in my soul. It never really existed to me. So I blanked it out of my mind, and I kept moving like a robot, meaning there was no down period. I just got right back up like it was a year later, and just kept going and kept going. And therefore, I got a couple of more cars after that. But the thing is, that was taught me is singular in my sleep. It taught me to prepare to start letting go, die to the things of the world. Meaning that can't nothing twinkle your eye, can't nothing pull your attention, can't nothing pull you to a trap, then it's much harder for Set, which is the ancient word for Satan, S-E-T, Set. It's more harder for him to perform illusions, and then the illusions grasp your attention and bring you to the trap that he has laid out for you. You know, and that's not easy. That's not really that easy to live in this world, to be in this world, but not of this world. I mean, that's not as easy as it said. You know, it takes a lot of practice. But once you see that and actually experience it and do it, you'll see the power in that. And the power in that is like the Akashic records, which is you will be directly in tune with the source, along with the other aspects of the ancient Metu knowledge that you'll grasp along the way. But with this one is the most important. This frees up the doors. I mean, this opens up the doors. This frees up the BS and open up the doors, and frees up a way for the ancestors to talk to you more freely, and for you to actually witness the power of the etheric energies working in your favor. If you can just die to the things of the world, that way you become the observer instead of the one that's being observed. You can perceive through a lot of people BS and lies. You can actually become an alien to human, meaning this you have stepped out of the human realm and became into the alien, not a monster or green monster, but alienated towards these emotions of this matrix that they gave us to deal with. Meaning you are a master. You're a master over that. That's when they say self-mastery. Self-mastery is I am my Lord and Savior. That means I'm master over myself. I think before I respond. I calculate before I move. Nothing can have me dipped into the moment where I'm not thinking about my actions. And that's what we're witnessing a lot of times today, is that people are trapped in the moment, trapped in the situation, trapped in what's going on in the now. Therefore, they automatically respond. They can't really sit back and think. So when they do certain things by being trapped in the moment, later on they always say, man, what was I thinking? And that's a very problem, because when you're in a situation and you always come up with what are you thinking, that's telling you that something else took control of your mind at that time, did what it had to do, then gave it back to you. But you should always know what you're thinking. Okay, as we move forward, it says at this point the initiate becomes a vessel through which the Supreme Being can bring about changes in mankind. certainly that you don't have to have an army to get your point across. You don't have to have a big nation of people to actually get your point across. The Father set up a way where you, as long as you master self, that your energy dynamic radiates out towards to 1,000 people. It's become easier for them. It's almost like if you can visualize the 100 monkey effect. That's why they say, well, don't work on everybody else. Try working on yourself first, and then everything else that's been worked on will gravitate towards you. So before you go out trying to preach, march, and everything else, work on self, master self, and then you will see within that mastery of self how the right people, the right things, the things you need, the people that you need to talk to will gravitate towards you. And a lot of times it'll be some people that you never thought was already searching for answers, but just scared to ask. Before I proceed, anybody got anything they want to add on or ask before I go to the next chamber out of the Metu Next? Okay, and like I was explaining earlier, that to think in hieroglyphs. To think in hieroglyphs meaning is that you don't see things separate, like this, that. That's the Caucasian more so version of reality. Our reality is to think as a whole, is to think as unity, and then separate the differences in ideologies between people, not separate them, and then possibly think about the unity down the road. We think in wholes as a unit, as a people. And in that thinking, you don't really need stoplights. You don't really need stop signs, turn light signals, insurance, because you move in the synchronicity that everyone is one with each other. So I know to stop, you know to go, I know to stop. But in the world that's opposite of that, you need rules and regulations, because everybody is wafted to the animalistic nature, which is the lower nature. And in the lower nature, the reptilian brain rules. When the reptilian brain rules, it's almost like you're looking at an animal, but it's able to speak. You're looking at animals, but it's able to think. But it's still in the animal nature because it's stuck off survival, greed, and I got to get mine, you better get yours type mentality. It's never set to where I'm my brother's keeper. You know what I'm saying? Like just simple stuff like if somebody lets you go in the line or lets you pass in traffic, wait. Most people don't wait. They just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? That's not hieroglyphic thinking, because that wave just to encourage the other person to do it again to the next person, and it just make things go so much smoother. And in Godspeed science, it is based off hieroglyphic thinking. I got this thing called Sahu, and we all know who Sahu is. If you read the MINUTESJUN, it's the guy that's it's an energy dynamic or a being. So we got the AB man and we got the Sahu man. This AB man is the person that went to college, maybe Mason, the brother that's got a little money, like to go to the strip club. He got a little discipline over himself where he can at least think before he moves. But he still don't have spiritual reign. He still don't really search for the spirituality of himself. So he's like the college guy, like you're almost there, but you're so far away. And Sahu is like, these names are in the MINUTESJUN. Sahu, S-A-H-U. He is the one who just like barbaric. He's the one who doesn't think before he moves. He's more throttled into the animalistic nature. His key thing is his imagination, which gets him by his imagination, what he imagined himself to be. And that's the only really one of the basic drives of him is the imagination. And if I can find it, I can explain to you a little bit more. And Sahu is that little bad nigga that like Chief or the niggas you see in the streets in Chicago, and the brothers out here gang banging, shooting and killing without no thought. That's Sahu. And in his imagination, while he been ruled by that, they give him images to emulate, which is you see the rap videos, actual rap, the things. And what he's thinking all day is he's going to be the tough guy. He's going to be the chief. He's going to be the big man. He's going to be the big dope dealer. He's going to be this and that. Even though his reality shows him that perception, the real perception of what he's seeing, that there's no end, no happy ending in these stories, his imagination still rules. He still perceives himself that some type of way he's going to be the only one that make it back, or he's going to be the only one that make it through. And this is the Sahu man. And the Sahu man is like, what we would call 15, 14, 16 years old. But a lot of people don't grow up out of that. Brothers don't grow up out of that Sahu state of mind. They become 34-year-old, 64-year-old Sahus. And that can become a great problem. Matter of fact, I have found it. Sahu represents the animal spirit. The animal spirit is programmed through 7, which is imagination, 8, separation on concrete things, which is separation, looking at things that's not a whole but separate, and 9 is imitation. Now, the ninth spirit is imitation, meaning that he's imitating what he sees. He's very indiscriminate towards his imitation, meaning he doesn't say, I don't want to imitate that, or that's not good for you. Whatever they put out there for him to imitate, and it equates with his blood type, his environment, his area, he's going to gravitate towards that without a thought. And the AB man, which is I call Mason, you know, and he's basically ruled off of his really his discipline. The fact that he has enough discipline to go to church, or he has enough discipline to go to school, or he has enough discipline to lift weights, or he has enough discipline to get at least money to be able to feed his Lord gratifications. And Sahu lacks a lot of that discipline. He just go. And the Asa man, which is above all of those two aspects, is the God body, which would you call 5% of the seekers of knowledge of the conscious community. And I'm starting to realize even in the conscious community, we're not all the way that conscious. But like I was saying, this broadcast is to teach you to think in hieroglyphs. And what I'm saying is, when I say to think in hieroglyphs and to put you back in that ancient mind frame, is to let go of everything you was taught. Let go of everything basically that you was learned, that people told you, and pretty much keep what's necessary to you. You know, like certain things that might be true to you. You don't have to take in everything everybody say. Just keep what's necessary to you, discard what's not. And to think with an ancient mind frame is you basically got to take it back to the metal next in hieroglyphic thinking. Like I can say, have a conversation with a brother, and he can go like, yeah, Joe, I was out and about, and I seen Sahu. And, you know, all of a sudden, he was helping an old lady across the street. Now, that brother that I'm talking to, he know when I say Sahu, he know it's a whole history about this type of guy. This drug dealer, crazy little nigga, young brother that's lost, think with his imagination. And I don't have to explain all that. All I had to do is say Sahu. And this is called hieroglyphic speaking. All I had to do is say, yeah, I seen Sahu. There's a lot of them out there. And the brother who I'm talking to know, okay, you got them little wild-ass niggas running around. Let me chill. Let me sit back. Let me go the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? So it saves a lot of that sentences and paragraphs of trying to explain a certain thing. And it's hard to explain without an ancient mind frame. How do you explain a certain type of people that's outside? I know they all black, but how do you explain this a certain type of group that's at this park and you might not want to go there? You know what I'm saying? What you going to say? Oh, it's a whole bunch of thugs up there, and, you know, we might not want to go there. You know what I'm saying? No, you can say that, but it's a better way to say, you know, so who at the park, they deep, you know what I'm saying? And basically what you're saying is there's a bunch of lost brothers up there that's deep, and in that is drugs, pistols, weed, all type of stuff that comes along with the word Sahu, you know what I'm saying? And to stay away from that area. Or I may say, yo, you know, the Asa fam, you know what I'm saying, down the street, you know, and I already know, okay, that's God body. That's where I can go. I can chill, I can relax, especially for the God body that I can get my pop lock on, or actually build, or go into a 360-degree cycle. So by thinking in hieroglyphs, we're cutting down a lot of words. And plus, the English language is the business language, and it's not giving us enough expressions to express a hieroglyphic ancient mind frame. Think about that. So they say the kid got ADD. They say the kid don't pay attention because his brain is clicking at a fast rate. He's already born thinking in hieroglyphs, and they're teaching him how to think A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. That's like taking a Ferrari at going 100 miles an hour and just coming to a complete halt. But actually driving a Lamborghini down the side street 20 miles an hour, the car going to be fucked up because it's not designed to go that slow. So what they do, the doctor say, oh, the car has ADD. He's like, what the fuck is that? Well, attention deficit disorder, meaning he can't pay attention. Well, if you start teaching fast enough or teaching right, then he will pay attention. But if I'm not learning, why should I pay attention? But we don't know this, so what we do, give him medicine. And what that do is slows his brain down to the capacity of where they want him to be. Meaning the average child, see, you see what I'm saying? He coming out thinking 100 miles an hour. He just don't have the right information to fill in the voice in his mind, and they give him medicine to bring him down to a level to where now he can think a little bit slower, and now he can go A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Everybody follow me? Anybody got anything they want to add on before I keep going? Going once, going twice? Okay. Another thing I want to add on is that the bastard language science is something out of Godspeed science. And like I was saying, is explaining how the numbers we use, the words we got, doesn't hold enough expression. So what we have to do as black people is to go back to our ancient mind frame. Sometimes make up words and give them a definition. Make up a group of words and give them ideologies, because we'll never become who we are in this state of mind that we're in. You know, and as time goes by, evolution raises or go on into the future, and we're still thinking at this level of thinking, which is what I call a business language thinking. How can you explain anything spiritual, or at least ancestors, or at least the MINUTESJUN, very ancient? How can you explain anything like that? Because there's things in reality happening that we can't see due to the fact that we don't have no words to express. Is anybody following what I'm saying? How can you fight an enemy you can't even say his name? How can you fight an energy dynamic you can't even say his name? It seemed like, but if you give it a name, like I call Smith, Agent Smith is the lower energy dynamic that's really built off. If you ever seen the Matrix, it's the same shit, the way it can jump in and out of different people at any given time. And they call that Satan. I call it Smith, Agent Smith. But it's not like a green man walking around with horns. It's not that type of Satan. It's a lower energy dynamic that's birthed out of chaos. And what Smith do is like on Fridays. You know, if you're riding in the car, you see accidents, you see sirens. The doctor says multiple killings on Fridays. You see all type of chaos, people fighting. That's that Smith energy that's out there due to the fact that with a hieroglyphic mind frame, you know there's people trying to feed the Lord gratifications on this day. That's why Smith power is very powerful. Friday, you're trying to go to the club, you're trying to drink, you're trying to eat, you're trying to get your hair done, you're trying to have sex, you're trying to, all lower self shit. Nothing wrong with that, but if it's all hunched up in a certain area or grid or neighborhood, then it becomes an energy. And when that energy is harnessed like that, it's Smith, you can damn near see his face. And this is a word I made up. Like a lot of brothers go through, man, I went to get the job, man, and just so happened a bag of weed fell out of my pocket. But I don't know where the fucking weed came from. Oh, I let my little brother, he done put on my pants and went and got him some green, left the shit in my pocket. I didn't even know he had my pants on. I put the pants on, go to the interview, the shit fall out of my pocket. What the fuck? And they look at me like I'm crazy. Now, I needed this job because this is the last day I had to do to pay my car note. If I would have got the job, I would have been able to pay my car note, finish paying on my house. I've been decent. That's Smith. Don't you see the synchronicity of bullshit that's going on in that man's life? And this shit happens to him daily in, day out. But he can't say, what the fuck is this? So he go to church. To the church, and they say, oh, yeah, the devil. But he keep thinking red man with horns. He can't really, he's like, well, I don't really see him, but I got a lot of shit going on in my life. But what he can't say is, that's Agent Smith. And I know already what he's talking about. Oh, there's some shit happening beyond your control. There's some shit happening that you see synchronized just for you. And then you can't even really, you wondering who it is because, let me give you an example. You get up, this person piss you off. You go here, this person snap. You go here, this person do something stupid. And you picking and shooting. On every time someone piss you off, you're snapping. So that means you just went off 7-8 times a day. When if you was thinking in an ancient mind frame or thinking in hieroglyphs, you'll know all these motherfuckers is really one person. So why respond to any of them? Because there's one energy dynamic jumping in and out of each one of these person's body. And if you ever want to get to see that in your mind, or idea of what I'm talking about, I know some of y'all seen the movie Fallen with Denzel and the demon Azazel. That's real. That's how Smith works. Jump in and out of different people's body. And the reason it can do that because those who are thrust into their lower self so deep that all they have to do is whisper. It's easy to jump in and out. And it's really an energy dynamic, and it deals mostly through electronics, slightly through the mind, but electronics, cell phones, anything, computer, anything, car, shit like that is strong in that force. It's an energy dynamic, but it's more so of a electrical energy dynamic. Now you got the shadow walkers. Now this is a more of an entity instead of an energy dynamic. This is an entity, an unseen entity or unseen force. And it moves more so like a laser. It can jump in and out of people's bodies. What it do is it wants your soul. It wants your mind, your whole mind, body, and soul. Smith, he just want to fuck your day up and laugh and keep it moving. He want to make sure you stay off balance all day. But the shadow walkers, they want your soul. They want your body. And these are children of Set. These are entities of Set. Meaning is they don't turn back. Ain't no raising them. Ain't no bringing them to life. This is what they is. They just pure fucked up, evil motherfuckers. And through this ancient mind frame, shadow walkers, the way they work, So why I got this idea is because of I thought in hieroglyphs. And the way the shadow walkers work is, like I said, those that are in trapped or stuck in their lower self, meaning is a lot of people go through life and don't know why this happened, why that happened, and just keep moving and keep going. But they study, ain't got the bulletproof vest on, and in them situations it become bullets. So where they just get shot up every day, hot situation become bullets. And after 30 or 40 bullets in your body, you're going to start leaking. Meaning you're going to lose blood, you're going to become tired, you're going to become weak, and you're going to start dying. That's when the shadow walkers come in. And with these bullets called situations in your life, over time you got so much shit can happen to you that you become weak, you lose blood, you lose power. And the shadow walkers know that. So what they do is they know that you're low, you're kind of off balance, you're kind of leaning, and you're really in your lower self because you can't get out of this swamp. And what they do is they blow whispers, suggestions, which is the H spirit in the Metu, the power of suggestion. What they use is the H spirit. And if you're not woke, they blow suggestions. Meaning is they suggest. They see you as just imagine an unseen force blowing in your ear, Joe, do that. Now when they come to God bodies, it take a lot of energy, and they don't like to use a lot of energy to even make him even walk forward or do anything. So they don't do that. They use other people to get to the God bodies. So they take the brother that's lost into his lower self, which is meaning is all they have to do is blow and he gonna move. All they have to do is suggest something. It's easy to work with them, because some of them can fully take over these niggas' bodies. And I know you've seen a couple of niggas out here where they just gone. They just straight gone, lost, just crazy. Half the stuff they do is crazy, and you always scratching your head asking why. Them the brothers their souls been fully taken over by the shadow walkers or negative entities. And I get all of these concepts just out of the ideology of the Metu, because it's explaining a lot of our ancient ways and a lot of our ancient mind work, but we can't see it in today's times. So I figured out how to bring forth that knowledge and that information worded in a way we can see it, because when I say Agent Smith, you can easily, you've seen the Matrix and you know how Agent Smith moved. So that takes a lot of that explaining out of it. You already see, just off me saying Agent Smith, you go to the Matrix, you know how he moved, you know he was chasing Neo, which was Heru, you know he was chasing Heru, and you can see that's the ancient math. That's thinking in hieroglyphs right there, what I'm saying. That's thinking in hieroglyphs. All I did was say Agent Smith on my back. Now, if you're familiar with the terms, you're already thinking Agent Smith, the movie Matrix, or the dude running around with the sunglasses on that went into the Oracle and killed her. He was trying to get Neo because Neo was asleep and Neo had woke up. So what did Agent Smith do? Try to get him out of the system. You know what I'm saying? He was a virus. He was in the system, which is the Matrix. The Matrix was the system, which is America. America is the Matrix. And the brothers that's waking up, trust me, Agent Smith going to be up there looking for your ass. But this is all under the unseen scene. Because you can see it, you just can't see it. And that's a hieroglyph. So when I say Agent Smith chasing Neo, which is Morpheus, right there, you going back to thinking about what he did in the Matrix and how that went, and who Neo was in the Matrix, you already thought in hieroglyphs. You thought in images. I didn't really have to break it down to you. You thought in images, which is much faster. So I can say Smith, but kicking it with Sahu, and then Sahu ran into Mason. So what I just told you, I said Smith, meaning the lower self-energy dynamic, or Satan, was right behind Sahu, chasing Sahu, kicking it with Sahu. Sahu didn't even know it, which is the little badass nigga in our family. And Sahu got up with his bigger brother, which was Mason, which all he wanted to do was just try to kick it. Now, what happened in this is you got these two sleep brothers and Satan on the side. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful day. So I can continue on and say Sahu jumped in the car with Mason, and Smith was riding in the back seat, and the Shadow Walker was next to Smith. So you got four things in the car, and the Shadow Walker blew into Sahu's ear, make a left, because the Shadow Walker seen the person that Mason got into it with was that way. So he blew, make a left. They just make a left for no damn reason and turn. Next thing you know, dude on the corner see him, oh, ain't that Foolie right there, Joe? They hop in there, we'll get right behind the two, chase him, and then here goes Smith, dude trying to call for the police out there, looking in the rearview mirror of help, and his phone fucking up. So now his phone don't work, because Smith in the back seat, and the Shadow Walker got them and sitting back there laughing, because he just got Sahu to turn left right into Mason's enemy. And you see what I'm saying? Do you understand how I'm thinking right now? This is a hieroglyphic picture. So as soon as I say, yes, Smith was chasing, Smith was kicking it with Sahu, Sahu got it with Mason, and all hell broke loose. You already know in your mind. Damn, damn, okay, Mason was just minding his business. Who just hurt a nigga or did some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? I got this wild karma on him, and the next thing you know, he got, what's the name, Mason killed. It's always going to be the brother who ain't got shit to do with the situation, the one that killed. The other niggas that got the problem, who started it, always get away. You know why? It's because they need it for a new day. But this is, I'm speaking in hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs is an easy way to break down information. So when J. Edgar Hoover listen, be like, yeah, I understand what they're saying. I mean, I understand to a degree of how a dog know how to sit. When I say sit, it don't know what sit means, but it know what to do when I say sit. That's how the agents listen to this shit I'm kicking. Because I hear the words, but I don't know what the fuck that means. So how can they ever plan anything against us? As a matter of fact, half of them, like I always say, start learning. So they got to keep bringing out agents, putting in new agents when they listen to the Godspeed broadcast. Because we think in hieroglyphs, and under the thinking in hieroglyphs, the white man was albino. So he was always a children of the black gods and queens. So what happened is he get reconnected. That melanin started shifting in his body that he lacked. That was only 1%. The sun started beaming on his ass. He started turning black. So now all of a sudden you got Eminem coming around and shit like that. So what happened is they got to keep that type of power away. Because once anything hear truth, it's going to gravitate towards that way. I don't give a fuck if even Satan got out, Set got out. And all Set become when you in the hieroglyphic mind frame is the ground you do push-ups on, or what they call the devil. He ain't nothing but resistance to make me stronger, because without no resistance, I can't get strong. Anybody got anything they want to say? Because I need to take a water break real quick, or add on. Anything, any questions, any concerns? Going once, going twice. Or I even got a question. Am I making any sense? Can you hear me? All right, cool. I guess I am. All right, let me finish doing something real quick before I continue on, family. I'm hoping I'm getting it across the best way possible. And trust me, this is the first series of the Thinking Hieroglyphs. So, it might be a little scratchy, but it's going to get better as time go on. But this is the first series, the first show. There's going to be many more because it's a big book. Matter of fact, it's 11 verses, 11 chambers, 11 ways to do this, and we're going to go through all of them. But I'm just like kicking it lightly right now. There's nothing too serious, nothing, too hard to understand. But I just want to break this just a word to think in hieroglyphs, and I started to go into the book a little bit more, but I'm a freestyle. I'm a freestyle, and we can go into the book as time go on, and we kind of already know or learning these methods and things that's going on. But I'm a freestyle for now, and what I'm saying is, like what I just described to y'all is hieroglyphic thinking and thinking the ancient mind frame. So I'll give you an example. You gotta this and kind of, I don't want to say pay attention, but listen carefully. Yeah, listen carefully. That's a better word. Listen carefully to how this works, especially the brothers that's in the hood, and the sisters, because the shadow walkers show their face, and the shadow walkers, like I said, y'all like, probably what the fuck is that? We're gonna call that like I said, a negative entity, not a negative energy dynamic, a negative entity. And the reasons we talk like this as black people, and the reason we have melanin. Part of the reason is the fact that we can see this shit. Other races, mankind cannot see everything we can see. If you just put yourself into another Caucasian or another race body, you probably go crazy because you wouldn't be used to being that disconnected with yourself. When we bite the apple, we can taste the earth. We can even see the damn tree. If you really that in tune, you can feel the earth. When they bite the apple, they just bite the apple. You see what I'm saying? And we have that gift, and they know it. That's why they keep their foot on our neck, so we won't tap into that gift. And when you fully tap into that gift, you become lined up with the Akashic records. And what that means is I had to do some studying, is that you're a direct source to the Father. You right there while outside. You in zero. You the one in the middle of a zero, meaning the one that I am, I'm being, I'm right here physical, and I'm in the middle of a zero, meaning I'm gone at the same time. Meaning I live in the ether and spit in the physical. And it's possible because I'm a living example of it. You know, and I didn't know I was prophesied, or I didn't have no idea that a lot of things I was saying coming to revelation as time went on, people started telling me. So I started figuring out what was going on, that I had put down the book and became the book. But the thing of that is you got to be true of heart, so they got the Maya scale. Divine justice, divine judgment, and your heart got to be light as a feather. Meaning is, you got to be light as a feather in the body, mind, and spirit. You got to let go. You can't be heavy. You can't be gravitated or thirsty or greedy and wanting all these possessions. Just the want is the fucked up part. Not even the actual possessions, but just the want and the things you would do to get them. That's heavy heart. And when you lined up with at the skills and you in initiation and she judging you and your heart is heavy, but then that fella, then you got a problem. I mean, you got to go back, do it all over again, whatever. You ain't attaining that. You might have the knowledge, you might have the conscious God body information and all that, but if your heart ain't pure, I can't judge you. The next man can't judge you, but the universe knows. That's the one you can't lie to at all. So you can spit the same truths, spit the same thing, say the same thing, but it might not gravitate. It might not gravitate because your heart ain't pure at this particular time. I mean, MAT, know if you're lying or not. It knows. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to it. But if your heart is light as a feather, that means you got supreme love. That means you care to help the fellow man. That means you truly care to help your people. That means everybody is your brother. Everybody is your sister in this sort of sense of a manner. And if a family bogus, then they bogus, because on a scale, it ain't no you my blood, so you ain't bogus for you just killing this motherfucker, smacking this nigga for nothing. No, you bogus. Because my heart is as light as a feather, and I stand and perceive all judgment, meaning is I'm not biased. I'm not biased to anything. That way I can stay centered. Because how come if it's my brother killing a motherfucker and your brother killing another person, to each other it's still the same. You know, that nigga. So it's not cool whether it's your brother or not. It's still not cool. And if your heart is light as a feather, they put the 1,000,000, they put the 5, they put the 6, they drop the 100, and I walk right past it. When I see the old man drop it and lose it, or the little boy lose it, I walk right past it, or I turn around and say, you lost your money. Them little tests. And you thinking, oh, shit, and the dollar laying there and ain't nobody around, that's different. But if you see somebody, you know what I'm saying, you snatch a woo, put it in your pocket, go spin it, and you still trying to kick that knowledge and information, don't forget that scale. Maya didn't forget that move you just made earlier. You know what I'm saying? So your words ain't hitting like Mike. Because you ain't true of heart. And we'll pause for a second. Because I got to get a little breather. These sessions, I need to drink plenty of water because I'll be taking off like a rocket. But anybody got anything they want to say? Add on before I go. You know, I work better with questions. My mind is infinite, and I need a box to put it in to contain it. Like how you gonna contain the universe and shut it down in your backyard? You know, you need a reference point. So when y'all do ask me reference points, so we do, you know, just anything you say, give me a reference point. And this brings me forth to why GodSpeedNationBroadcast was made, because I have became under the Metu into my infinite mind, and that I go anywhere at any given time. And when I don't have a point of reference or a cue to put myself in to sit it in a particular place, it might sound like I'm all over the place, but y'all got a part of me. You know what I'm saying? It's part that I will be able to create one myself, which is just a point of self-contained. But the thing why I'm talking like this is because I got the ancestors in line trying to talk through, and they don't have a lot of vessels any time of day to talk through. So those that are vessels for the ancestors to spit at the people of the earth, they be in line like broke people at the soup line. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get it in. So it's not nervousness when you feel you finna speak in front of a lot of people. That's not really nervous. That's just that if you first of all, you're true of heart, but second of all, you got ancestors trying to talk through you, and you containing, meaning calm down, meaning is to contain that energy. That's all. It's a lot of energy pumping through you. It's a lot of energy starting from your spine on up. Then it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And the faster and faster it goes, your body's still, but your heart beating, you're feeling nervous. And sometimes you don't even be nervous, but that's how you know that's that energy. And it's not nervous, and it's just the energy of the ancestors trying to work through you. And so many of them trying to travel through you that you're trying to contain them, put them in the line, put them in the box, put them in order. You first. So when I say I'm going to pause and take a, water break, I'm trying to put them back in order because it was back there, got into it a little bit about who's going to talk next. You know what I'm saying? So pardon me. Bear with me. Now the thinking hieroglyphs. I was asked the other day, basically off of thinking hieroglyphs, and one asked me, how do you harness the ability to be in this world and out of this world, and what happens in that, and one way to do that is to first tell yourself, I'm gonna let go, okay, but still be able to maintain your responsibility to keep a roof over your head and food in your mouth, but I'm gonna let go. So first step to do that, the first step you take is to practice mind over matter. Do the body control the mind, or do the mind control the body? Now, all this is going to relate to the MINUTEJUN because all this is based out of the MINUTEJUN. But like I said, this is the first show, so we just keep it real light. And I just, showed y'all, like I said earlier, when you read books, the way I used to get information from bookstores or answers from the ancestors, I always had this little bookstore on the corner I used to go to. It was an African bookstore, and I have a question. And it was really on my mind. I get up at 7:30 in the morning and sit back and meditate on it, and think about it until the bookstore opened at 9. And I walk down there and I just grab the first book I see off the shelf and open it up and read it. And then my answer was right there. All the time. And I guarantee you, y'all, if y'all try that, that'll work. If you got any problem, any situation, whatever book you go to, the Bible, MINUTEJUN, whatever, just open it up and read whatever it shows you that's going to tell you what you need to know. That's the ancestor talking to you. That's a quick and easy way. But I say that to say, first step is do the body control the mind, and do the mind control the body. So if I tell myself do 100 push-ups, I know that's beneficial for me. I know that's going to make me stronger because I'm fighting resistance. So by me voluntarily fighting resistance, naturally I'm going to get less resistance in the world. I'm going to say that again. Mind over matter. But the mind say do 100 push-ups. The body get down there and do them. It's voluntarily fighting resistance. 100 push-ups, work out, whatever, run, walk, do it. Voluntarily fight resistance, and through voluntarily fight resistance, you're going to get less resistance in the world. So you got the swole ass nigga that goddamn is big as hell at a job, and you got the skinny nigga just skinny little motherfucker right there next to him, and they say, okay, I'm going to hire both of you. Okay, you go over there and lift them boxes, and you go over there and do the audit. That nigga with the swole ass muscle got a pen and a notepad writing, and the nigga that's skinny as hell over there lifting them boxes. That you know you seen it before. Just think back in y'all life that the swole nigga don't fight. You know why? Because he already fought his resistance. That's why he's big as hell, which is a plus. And then when the little nigga look up at him, he ain't trying to fight him. So there you go. He don't fight. Little do you know the nigga skinny as hell always fighting. That's why Tupac said, little skinny nigga boxing in the streets till he figure out. If I voluntarily fight resistance, then resistance gonna cease to exist in my in my realm, into a certain degree. That's the first step. Voluntarily fight resistance. Meaning is do what your mind tell you to do. So the mind says, shit, do I want coffee or water? Lemon water. Coffee be so nice, but lemon water is what I need. I don't even got the thought. I'm drinking lemon water. As I'm doing this, I'm noticing the grip of the matrix is easing off of me. It's easing off of me. Now I'm starting to see that them urges I had wasn't even mine. A lot of them thoughts I had wasn't even mine. The second step after practicing that, meaning is try to fight resistance voluntarily. The second step is to do the total opposite, which is lay back. Lay back. I don't care if you get fresh to death, take a shower, take a bath, put your clothes on, your socks and your shoes on, take your shoes back off, lay on the couch and lay back. And just sit there for about an hour or 2 or 3 hours, maybe the whole day, and you'll realize how many thoughts that was coming through your mind that wasn't even yours. And due to the fact that you didn't react off none of those thoughts, a whole 24 hours went past, and with your thoughts, you would have spent at least $125. But just laying back and not goddamn it doing none of them thoughts, just meditating goddamn it on just the thought alone that it ain't yours, you save $125. And the only thing will happen with time, now I can do this tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So once you're able to do that, that means women should practice that because they think at 1,000 miles an hour, thinking at 1,000 things at a time. So y'all really need to practice that. And when y'all do that, shit, the power you gonna wear gonna be the glow in your skin when I see you again. So first practice discipline, self-discipline. Just doing stuff you don't really want to do. Get up extra early. You know what I'm saying? You wake up at 4 o'clock, you ain't got to be up to 9. Stay up. See that. Once you start doing these things, you're going to realize it's going to be a weight lifted off of you. You're going to feel it. You're going to become light because you're light-minded. Your being going to be lighter. You're not going to be pulled and stressed out like that. You're not going to have anxiety attacks. You're going to actually be light. You're going to feel, it's better to do it to experience it and bring it back to me than me tell you my experience, because it just sounds like I'm bragging. But do to practice those, and that's the first 2 steps. It's the first 2 steps you need to take so far, and I can give you a hint. The rest will come to you. But as you build with me on these blog talk radios, you'll start becoming more in tune with the situation live. The first thing is self-discipline. You know, Bruce Lee used to get up, goddamn it, jump in a cold bath early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. He take a cold bath full of ice. He jump right in there. Imagine the feeling, and then imagine the feeling to make yourself do that. You see what I'm saying? And by waking up like that, forcing yourself to get up is another thing. You either the job or whatever outside of you that makes you get up is your intent. And if that's your intent, then your power goes with that. Meaning is, I don't have to be at this place at 9, but I get up at 4:30 in the morning. That means I'm not getting up because of them. I'm getting up on my own intent, which is that power goes back to me. But if I lay there and lay there to 8, and I don't want to get up, but I'm getting up, I'm forcing myself up. That ain't you. That's the job pulling you. That's the job controlling you. That's the job waking you up, and all your power goes to that, not to you, because that's not your intent. It was intent. Your intent was for the job, not yourself. Myself is to get up 4:30 in the motherfucking morning, feed the damn birds, take a motherfucking walk. Matter of fact, run. I'm running 5 o'clock in the morning. When other brothers sleep like a motherfucker, I'm doing this. And boy, the power you gonna wear from that to where I need a ride when I walk outside, they go to the car right there. I mean, this happens. This shit happens. You know, a situation when this was I was coming out of Saúde stage, the younger brother who was kind of lost, but really wasn't lost, but just trying to find his way, but had nothing to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? But trying to put myself to sleep, you know. And I was coming out of that, and I had just made Black Jesus mean a rap. You know, I used to rap, so he was rapping. I was like, fuck that. I'm finna start making some God body shit. I'm finna see what to do. And I knew niggas didn't like it, but I still did it anyway, my intent. And I started reading the Bible real hard. You know, at that time I was trying to find, you know, I ain't see a message next to yet because the computer wasn't as popping as it was now. I mean, it was on and popping, but it wasn't like it is now. And I'm reading the Bible, and I'm flipping through the pages to where I was speed reading, meaning that I download. The download is to read right before you go to sleep. Then you wake up, you're going to know everything to the test, everything that you read in the book is going to seep into your soul. That means you're going to know it. It's going to become you. That's if you really want to study under the hierarchy of your thinking. Download. Read it before you go to sleep. Study it before you go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep. When you dream about it, it's going to come into your reality. It's going to soak into your DNA. When you wake up, it's going to become you. But I was reading the Bible, I fell asleep, I woke up. And the only thing I got is to be in this world, but I love this world. So what I did was say, okay, I'm going to start expecting the things that I will to me. So I said, okay, this time I had a car. At that time, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a car at that time. So I got up, put my clothes on, and I walked outside, and I acted in emotion as if I had a ride. And as I got down the stairs and going towards the sidewalk, towards the street, my little cousin pulled up on me. And she said, "Po, where you going?" I said, "Shit, I was going to the store." She's like, I'm going there. You want to ride? And I hopped in. And shortly after that day, I wasn't the same. But that was just a glimpse. And what God did was, or the mother did was, she gave me a glimpse of the power. She gave me a glimpse of heaven, meaning it's the instant manifestation of things. As soon as you think about them, she showed me what it looked like, but then she took it away. And I didn't understand that day. I said, why did she take it away? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Because I was eating one time a day. Food was good as hell. You know what I'm saying? I didn't touch nothing to nightfall. So what I started doing was I ain't do anything to nightfall. I just sat there and I fed the birds and I read and I sat there and I read and I drank water and I sat right up under the sun. Then nightfall, I got it was on and cracking. But then when I learned that, damn, it's one basic rule that I see people cannot get away from, and it's a thin line, which is hunger. Hunger. Who is going to deny themselves to eat when they got the money to do it? That's even more powerful than making yourself do the 100 push-ups. That's even more powerful than just laying there, is to actually stop the, block the hunger or be able to control the hunger. So I start looking around at brothers and I say, I'm hungry, they're eating, and their body spends 75% of their energy digesting the food, and they're eating 3 or 4 times a day. Their brain ain't clicking at all. You know, they spark plugs. You know, if your spark plug's fucked up, your car gonna fall fucked up. You know, if your spark plug's fresh clicking like that in perfect synchronicity, then your car will go faster. Same thing with the human brain. But if your body spends 75% of its energy, meaning your spark plug power of digesting food, you do the math. And the reason it got like that is because once I started turning into a hieroglyphic mind frame, once I started waking up, once the lower self was switching up to the higher self, once my chakras started lining up, food wasn't even a question no more. I wasn't even thinking about food. And I was trying to figure out myself, what the fuck was I eating? But a lot of times it was green apples, Granny Smith apples, orange juice, and sunflower seeds. And that's when I was eating, and I was building. And I realized when I was building with my buddy that he was from the crazy, or he was from Madden. What Madden was the gods that had no life, but they were so in tune that it was under the bastard language. They didn't know the search for knowledge. They didn't understand it. They had the knowledge, meaning they was born king and queen, but they just didn't have no way to express it or no mirror to know that this is who it was. So they started doing crazy shit, which we call crazy. So the man, what he did was, before he did what he did after that, but the first thing he did, he had a brand new car, rims and everything. He just went to the mental institution back and forth. He was young, we was the same. 10 years later, I see him, he was fucked up, but we both got bodies. Now I'm seeing him. And when I see him, he said, oh, it must be the God season. And I kind of knew what he was talking about, because his father kicked the head root. I didn't have a father. So he was already lined up. He seen what I didn't understand at the time. And I said, how you know that it's God season? You know what I'm saying? How you know what you're talking about? He said, so I can tell the way you dress, your clothes is perfectly coordinated. I said, oh. He said, yeah, that's the first thing you see. And he was like, but there's a problem. How the fuck you talking like this? How you know this? Who taught you this? I said, shit, see, I've been waiting for somebody to talk to like this. He said, yeah, but I got a father, you don't. He's trying to figure it out. But he was already crazy by that time I seen him. And what they said, what he told me is that his mother eyes grew dim. You know, with time, he seen her start getting greedy, and start losing the love for the family and more for herself. And he kept seeing Smith. And this is from, I'm gonna show y'all what it looked like when you don't have GodSpeed or the hieroglyphic thinking or the hieroglyphic frame, ancient frame. When you don't think in hieroglyphs, this is how it looked. He kept seeing Smith before I made the word Smith, before the Matrix come out. Smith still existed. So he in the backyard, and his buddy got a fucking half a brick. His buddy done put a half a brick in his backyard in a black garbage bag, hid it under the porch. And he's standing back there with his buddy smoking on a blunt one day, and the police see him. They throw the blunt, they'll come back to that shit. And so, you know, they looking around. He's like, yeah, well, you know, talking shit because he ain't got nothing. They're like, yeah, we smell marijuana. He's like, yeah, whatever, y'all don't smell nothing. They got rid of him. Next, you know, the other one come back with the black garbage bag. What's this? Looking at a half a brick. Everybody around him looking like, what is that? Did nobody know who shit that was? There you go. First time, threw his whole life out, got out once again. Same type of situation. Same type of motherfucker shot at somebody. You know what I'm saying? He walking down the street in the same direction that the nigga shooting at. Police pull up, get him. They start looking around for the gun. Dude done dip because he seen the police. They find the gun a little farther down the street, grab him and put it on him. This is Smith. This is Smith, and the Shadow Walkers working on this nigga. Smith is the energy dynamic, the synchronicity of the bullshit, and the Shadow Walkers is just sitting back waiting to take his body. And what they're doing is they're waiting. So far, you got one foot in, one foot out of depression. He walking, he leaning, then he see me. So by the time he get up to me, it was too late, so I'm going to back it up. He had a car. This will send him in the water. He had a car, and he walks 8 to 12 miles to the store. And he had a car, and then he walked with his boxer shorts on and some Timbs and a T-shirt. So his mama thought something was wrong with him at the time they put him in. So by the time I seen him, you know what I'm saying, he was already fucked up. And it's because he didn't know Smith. You know, he knew the church aspect, but church say devil. Don't nobody really can't see that really, like, you know, in the ancient mind frame, you can see it. We gonna give it a name, and we gonna give it how he works. There ain't no red motherfucker walking around. The devil is the energy dynamic jumping in from person to person to person to person, especially if you're born with the mathematics and the sons, the children, the daughters of God. He at your ass. Meaning this, he want to make you stronger, or he gonna break you. There's just two things going on. And for me, devil work for me, Smith work for me. All they do is make me strong. They keep me on my feet. They keep me from putting my phone in my lap and getting out the car and breaking. because I'm always knowing his ass somewhere around. So I'm always on my P's and Q's. So I never slip. And when you never slip and it become of you, now you're going back off instinct, hieroglyphic, ancient thinking. Let's take it back to that. Once your instinct was one with you when you was a child, you grew up because the matrix fucked you up. You stopped trusting your instinct because it became wrong, because you was off-centered and unbalanced. Then all of a sudden, when you got the knowledge and information, you still didn't trust your instinct. Don't forget, you can go back and trust it now, because now your mind is 100 because you're of a higher vibration. You understand what I'm saying? You can trust your instincts now, especially if you're one with the Metu and the God body and the God sciences. You can trust your instinct now. The problem is we forget to go back and trust it. So one day Moon said, bro, I said, what up? He said, hey man, you right there with God. And this is how I'm waking up, you know, because I thought I was woke already, but I see this learning that's infinite. I was so far, I ain't gonna even say sleep, but I was woke then. It's just that I wasn't woke as I was now. I thought it was the shit. That was the shit. Hell no, this shit go on forever. So he said, can you ask God something for me? And I was like, what up? He ain't say nothing. And I was like, all right, man, you gonna say something? He said, yeah, I already said it. I was like, okay, cool, I got you. And he already fucked up. You see what I'm saying? The medicine got him talking like this. If he'd have met me before and we was able to bounce back and forth with each other, he wouldn't need that medicine. But since he met me later, I already knew him as a child. We left, came back 10 years later after a certain point, and he was already under the medication. I was going through my resurrection. See what I'm saying? So he jumped off a bridge, and I asked him why he jumped off a bridge. You know, what the fuck was that about, man? He said, I wanted to see if I can die. I believe I can't die. And, you know, he used to talk to me in codes like this, but I said, oh, so we do live forever. He's like, shit, it nature time, because he was still God body. He just was fucked up. He just didn't know it. And they had already admitted him into the crazy world before he was able to get into these times where he would have realized why he was talking like that. Because everything he was talking about, they laugh now, they laugh then, but it's true now. Trust me. But the reason they put him in the crazy world is for the matrix of, which is the supreme white man, or the, you know, the Illuminati, whatever we're going to call it, got an effect, meaning there's the Moses effect. And the Moses effect is, oh yeah, nigga, you can know all this knowledge, but all I need to do is get your ass in the mental institution, and goddamn it, no matter what come out your mouth, after people know you go there, they're going to just claim you crazy. But see, I made it past. And that's what he wants to know. Gee, how you make it past the mental institution? What you mean? You still kicking with the fellas. And you able to understand what I'm saying. See, I was in both worlds. To be able to talk hieroglyphic spiritually, you ain't supposed to kick it with the normal people. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're supposed to be able to, you ain't supposed to be able to talk like that. You're supposed to sound crazy, but I was able to get my point across still in a manner where they can understand. That's the way I write, read, and I talk the way I talk. So, saying that this is real, and the reason they pay you to go to the mental institution is to make it look a little appealing to any other God bodies. Meaning is, all I need y'all to do is get here, I put the medicine in you, people know about it, I don't even pay you. We give you $600, $800 a month and back pay, and for the rest of your life, you're thinking this is just some really serious issue. No, the medicine is used to be able to take the God out of the God body. And these are test dummies. And this is what they do, and once they tweak it to a certain level, what they call thorazine and all that shit, but that's really what it is. Once they tweak it, because you got to check in and out every so often, they ask some questions. They ask some questions. Who you hanging with? What you doing? They asking them questions. At first, he's in there talking God body, you know, the spirits, the universe, woo. 3-4 years later, they ask him the same question. He ain't saying none of that. He's just like a dumb. He's like, man, you know, McDonald's and maybe a cigarette or something. And then they say, okay, now we're going to use this and put it in all the black people's shit. Just little doses of this shit. So now, for us, what they need is the technical shots, the shots that are mandatory you get all of a sudden. Why we need to get these shots? Because the same shit they're putting in the mental institution patients, they're putting in them shots and giving it to the black community. They breeding the fucking God out of man. So now you got Chirac. Man, these niggas killing each other. 55 shoots, 12 murders on a Saturday. Now, do we understand back in the day, just to hold a gun, you thought God was going to get your ass. As I was a child, I'm like, shit. But as I started seeing the way the world was moving, I told myself, even at 17, 16 years old, if we keep going like this, because brothers start just killing niggas. Brothers start just smacking motherfuckers with bats and breaking their jaw and laughing. I said, 5 years ago, we were scared to do this. And I'm scared of the fact doing it, but scared of God. Now, I'm 17, it ain't nothing. I give it 20 more years, God is going to be gone out of these niggas. And here we is, 2017, with a murder rate Come on now, we ain't even got to talk about that. Something ain't right. So the pastor say, Joe, you're thinking in hieroglyphs. I'm thinking from the book. He said, okay. I said, well, the church hold the power in the street. He said, yeah, if we as the people, we go to the street, we can make it hold power. Then I said, well, damn, if I'm a child and I'm learning about the world of seasons 7 days out the week, and I get 1 day out the God, out the day out the week to learn about God, which is Sunday. And as I get older, no matter what you talking, what's going to become more realer to me? These shit in the streets or the God that I learned about on 1 day. Because if God was really supreme, you should get every damn day. Think about it. So they say, get your ass out, Jesus. You come in here starting that stuff. Whose son is this? The son of a bastard. Who is the son of the carpenter? You know, the fuck out. Who is your father? And the reason they asked Jesus who his father was, they was basically saying, who is your mentor? And Jesus like, I ain't got no mentor. God be my father. They're like, no. And the other one stood behind him like, yeah, he is right, though, because the shit he's saying is ill. But I like to know who really is his father. Ain't it Joseph the carpenter? Ain't just the carpenter's son? But Joseph sleep. Joseph a carpenter. He worked with his hands, not with his mind. Well, who the hell teaching this man this? Nah, they got to bow down because he can say worship and honor the supreme thing. So they say, why you can't kill folk? So they can't see folk. They can see folk. The white man love folk. Why white man love folk? Because, folk be kicking that motherfucking truth. Why is it necessary that any race love folk or any other God body? Because that's the method man lick, Joe. If you goddamn it true heart, they can't do nothing but honor you any motherfucking way. But when they see them incongruencies and ideologies, what they want to do is kill the spirit. And once they kill the spirit, they can kill the body. So they put Tupac with Suge. How we gonna do this, yo? We can't kill him while he woke, while he making all eyes on me. We can't kill him then when he making Soldier Story. We can't kill him when he making shit like Brenda's Got a Baby. So what we do, put him up with Suge Knight, kill his spirit. California Love. Now he at the Las Vegas stumping on niggas' heads. Next thing you know what happened, brother, after he stumped on that nigga head. He want pure heart no more. He want pure spirit. It's heavy. His heart was heavy as in a feather. And then right then and there, they got him. And then normal time, if the motherfucker was trying to assassinate him with him, he came over there. He just prayed to God to help him, and he didn't went back into his God body Wadim, but they was at him. So they got him when he was slipping. That's how I look. Kill the spirit, then we can kill a body. And my spirit ain't going nowhere. That's why every nigga that around me turned on me. They try to kill a spirit, but you gotta remember, I came in this motherfucker alone. And they ain't talking about born like a baby. I'm talking about born into this light alone. So can't nobody take me off my throne. I ain't had no father. I ain't had no teacher. I ain't had nobody to teach me any motherfucking thing. I had to learn this shit by my damn self. So now, they gonna do hieroglyphic thinking. Hieroglyphic thinking. So they doubt you when you're hieroglyphic thinking. But when you're in the proper mind frame, your words encompass all. Anything you say encompass all. So no matter what, they can't get away from it. So then they come back to you because they never seen the death and the resurrection. They're gonna look at you. They say, nigga, I ain't never known you to talk like this. This is what they're thinking in their mind. I ain't never known you to be like this. Is this the same brother I'm talking to you? Or how do I ask you what happened to you? Because they never seen the death and the resurrection. That's when you went straight from goon to God. They see me when I was a goon, but they never see me walk to God. Anybody got any questions, any concerns, anything you want to add on, please help me out here. Going once, going twice. All right, well, let me sip my water. And I shall proceed. Okay. I'm going to get this right. Like I said, this is a series to a first part series to many more parts of it to come. Matter of fact, this all I'm going to be talking about is how to think in hieroglyphs and to think with an ancient mind frame. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is who we are. As far as we can go back, as far as I know, this is as far as we can go before the Bible, before the Quran, before all that. This is as far as we can go, and we're going to start there. We people say, well, why you don't read them? No, we're going to take this back because when I read it, it made more sense. Not at first, but my soul was reading it. It did, but my conscience, it didn't make sense. It did, it didn't. I just had to figure out what was I reading, but I did gravitate. And one of the things it said in the book, when I first opened the book with my first son that made me grab it is, this when I was waking up, is that the problem with man is the maturity level. Just like that, simple as that. That's the biggest problem with mankind is our maturity level. And a lot of times, like I did a show called Peter Pan, which I'm going to do again, is that the Peter Pan thing is that we are grown people physically, but babies in the mind. And we so much around each other thinking like this, living like this, that we don't even know that we're immature. Because there's not that many mature to show us or contrast our immaturity. You follow me? Anybody follow me? So that is a problem. Because once you got mature people, you got people not going to really steal because you're mature. You kind of know that that's there. They left it there. Let me give it back to them. Stuff like that. You got morals. You got a sense of pride. You got a sense of cause. You got a sense of understanding just off maturity. Maturity alone, you will have families. And we don't know that it's a science they got out here. Why we thinking they doing all this other shit to us, which they is. But the biggest thing is to keep us immature. And David Banner struck me when he said that the black race in America is a child race, or the black race is the child race of America. Think about that. The black race is a child race of America. So go to the 60s and 70s. Think about the difference. You had young brothers, 20 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, Fred Hampton. These motherfuckers are young. Can you imagine a young brother now even thinking like that? Another young brother now even speaking like that? Do you see what they have done to us, the plan? If y'all thinking how to breed God out of man is a joke through the chemical warfare that they build in the mental institutions and the substance that they come up with, they seep into our food, into the cheese and the hamburger meat up at the Arab stove, the chili cheese fries and shit, and the gumbos, and, crackers don't eat this shit. Chicken, they don't eat this shit, but we eat it. And they keep it in there. So you say, but what the fuck you talking about? Okay, go to the 60s. Look at them brothers. Look at the 70s. Even some of the 70s. Look at them brothers. These was young brothers, just like you see us now. Fetty Wap, Gucci Man, these were about their age. But look what they was doing compared to what we doing now. What happened? Why is it like that? We supposed to get greater as time go on, not worse. So something happened. They figured out how to take the God body out of the black man. So what does that mean? He don't think in hieroglyphs no more. He don't think we, he think me. He don't think us, he think I. We don't think like, as a community, what we gonna do? How we gonna do this? No, I just sweep the back of my shit and I'm cool. I just pick up the little stuff right there and I'm cool, as long as it ain't affecting me. So now you got us thinking I. And now while we thinking I, we got them for self. And now while we for self, as long as it ain't my backyard, and shit, it don't return me. And as long as we thinking like that, they can do whatever they want. They want to put chips in us, why not? They gonna do it. They gonna put it, because what y'all gonna do? Nothing. Not a damn thing, because we separated and divided. And it's easy to conquer us. We're not the same people. So when you want to bring it back to the ancient mind frame, you become a quick elite backwards and going through all that pain and struggle in life. And each sphere, meaning 1 through 9 to 10, which is manifestation, is a energy dynamic of life that's meant to show you what you lack in order to fix it and then proceed forth. So you start at 10, which is here. I'm here. I'm on earth. I can feel myself. Manifestation. 9, imitation on the lower self. What am I going to imitate? What is my culture? What am I going to go by? You see what I'm saying? What am I looking at? Am I going to be like it is on TV, or I want to be like this, or I want to be like that? Then you go into 8. Okay, what are my tools? What are my means? Money, concrete objects. You know what I'm saying? Locked into just money. Basically, we're going to keep it simple. Something like money. Okay. So now I figure out a way to imitate. I'm going to imitate Lil Wayne. I'm going to imitate this person. I might imitate my father if he's around. But what I'm seeing him doing is getting money. So we in the 8. So now with this money, going to 7. Meaning that he found a way to live. He's going to 7. Now what can I do? I got a way to live. And what could I do? What could I do? Meaning my imagination. How can I feed my imagination? What could I do? Do I like to rap? Do I like to write? Do I like to ride a bike? Do I like to do something with my talents? Once he found the chance, he's going to 6, which is a rule. This where they intervene at quickly. Because once you get to Heru, that's I am. Oh shit, I'm a warrior, I'm a man of God. Wait a minute, I got principles, I got a cause, this is who I am. So now you got Fred Hampton. Now you got Malcolm X. You got these type of motherfuckers popping out of that game of life under the under the 6th spirit. They like, hold up, stop right there, get that out. He can be talented, he can be Michael Jordan. He can find a nice way to live. He can be Jay-Z. We give him the 8, we give him $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? We give him the 9, we give him something to imitate. Because we control all of that. We we get him to 7. So we put him on TV, make it pretty, and the stuff we gave him under the 9 to imitate and translate to the 8, that he'll become as each one of them grow up. They'll follow that one under the 7. They use his talents or his imagination to get him to be like Mike or to rap like Drake. So we give him that. But when we get to that 6, we got to stop it right there. And they say, Sire, why? Teach me more. Set. They talking to Set. Set like, okay, well, let me explain to you about Heru. That's what they call Jesus. What do you mean? Well, since we're not going to show you the ancient real thing because it might go into their subconscious just by us presenting it to the earth, one of them niggas might pick up on it, whether they ain't here or not. And we're going to keep that. We ain't going to speak about that. We're going to keep it just say Jesus. Or the Messiah. Oh, okay. So what are you saying by this, Seth? I'm saying is, if he take all of that, he done manifested so far and put it with the 6, he going to become who he is. He going to know. He going to say, I am. He going to say, fuck this. I'm tired of this. I'm not going for this shit no more. It's going to be a problem, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck am I? He's going to start questioning himself. He's going to start questioning anything he knows. He's going to start wanting the cause. And he's going to fight for his people. And he's going to call on God, and God going to hear his prayer. Shit. Yeah, we can't stop him then. We can only pray that he stop himself. All right, so at this mode, at the 6th mode, where did he come in? Heru, the God of air. Meaning his thoughts is everywhere. Meaning his reign is everywhere. It's infinite in the sky. This is man's power. And he blend with the sun, meaning this, you see the hawk and he turn his belly to the sun, and you see that underlining, that light, that's that light that go around him. So if you ever seen the Matrix, he the one, when Neo went into the room and the Matrix was green and the Chinese dude was gold, he hold his own power. He hold his own source. He hold his own. He needs no one. He's Neo. Okay, we can't have that. Right, so you try to kill him at 7, he make it past 7, he get to 5. 5 is basically Banan. 5 is, look, I'm going to war with my lower self. That means he ain't even arguing with his lower self no more. It ain't even getting nothing. Fuck that. Fuck that. Ooh, that bitch with the big ass. And fuck all that. That bitch breath stink when she wake up just like any other. Okay, cool. That's, woo, woo. Okay, yo, this and that. Or the female, you know, want to do her thing, want to smack her, take the whole income tax check. You know, I can't do that. So, you know what I'm saying? He feeding the family too. I'm going to give him half of this income tax check. We're going to make it together. We know it's a bigger enemy out there. She's coming up under that 5. You know what I'm saying? She's going to war with the lower self. Right there. That's where they send all their agents at you. When you're going to war with the lower self. That's when you see Leo in the Matrix fighting all them Smiths. And what he do? He dip. Fuck this, I'm up. Because then that's when he realized, Joe, how many you have to fight this? This ain't even really a battle. I already won. All I have to do is control. So now he at the 5th. He controlling his lower self. He done went to war. He done won. He mastered his lower self. He choose to eat. Don't choose to eat. Don't eat. So I'm saying, if I go to a party, I want to show these motherfuckers discipline. I'm hungry as hell and starving. The shrimp look good. I ain't gonna eat. I can cut it off right there and literally don't eat. Walk out and be cool and watch the feeling you get when you're able to master yourself with the self-discipline. Can nothing control you. Nothing can hold you down, especially in your relationship. Under the old man lick, like I always say, if your wife hollering at you and she's going and snapping and you just quiet and you sweeping and you smiling, somebody gonna look crazy and it ain't gonna be you. Because in order to get that going, you got to feed it. And with said no, if I can perform an illusion and you give it power, meaning your attention, then it get great and you kill yourself. You made it strong. I did. That's why when they was in the God, and the 2 sons of God was in the God and walking up to God, and God was sitting there by the big old throne like Joe. He wasn't sitting on the throne. He was sitting next to the throne, standing up there, leaning on it, just like God is. And he said, Joe, what y'all kicking with Satan? And the niggas didn't even know Satan was right there. Just like a niggas nowadays, they don't even know Satan right there with them because they think he's a red man and unknowing he's an energy dynamic. When you feel that bullshit, that energy is trying to bounce. Or give me 50 feet, nigga, unless you're strong enough to subdue them. And if you're strong enough to subdue them, that means you done did your 100 push-ups. You done did man over matter, and you got a 50-foot radius. And anybody coming to this 360-degree, 50-foot radius of you gonna subdue to your nature and what you about. So all of a sudden, he right there talking God body on the low for no damn reason. But when he leave, he don't talk it no more. That's just you, period. That's when you won 100. So, they the God, and he's like, Joe, you need a Satan with you. And then Satan like, Joe, yeah, man, y'all, they turn around like, what the hell? He's like, y'all go ahead. Let me holler at Satan real quick. Say, come here, nigga. Satan like, what up? What up? He's like, look, those 2 right there, they're my elected ones. They're my elite. You can't touch them. Meaning God bodies. He's like, what you mean I can't? I mean, Joe, I can't. He said, you can't do shit. He said, well, can I perform illusions? Or can I? He said, you can do that, but you can't put your hands on them. Meaning is, they only can kill themselves. So say, okay, 100, I got a game. And he said, I bet you they still honor my name. And there they go, saying go out to play, perform these illusions. You lose different people to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. feed into it. And once you feed into it, say, they did shit, he ain't touched you. This you touching yourself because you feed into the illusion. Once you feed into the illusion, you give it power. Once you give it power, the stronger you with the illusion, the greater the power problem gonna be. That's how you know niggas with big ass problems, that means you got a powerful ass brother. That's how that works. So, I say this, I say that to say this. As in a relationship and families, we have to know there's an outside force, an outside energy dynamic that's warning our separation. And once we know that, the man know it, the woman know it, and we can see it together and we laugh, and then we be amazed that this shit is actually happening. And day two, you're going to get another couple arguing and fighting around you, another female talking about my nigga this, and all he doing is putting these fucked up ass matrix images and molds in the female head, and she trying to agree with her, but she's like, I don't really have that problem, but just for some damn reason, y'all going to be arguing. Because with the hieroglyphic mind frame, a lot of people say, Joe, I just want to call you and just talk to you, but what they're doing is loading their problems on you. And what you mean, Pope? It's easier because we got a faster language. It's easier to say it than actually to understand what's really going on. If a motherfucker telling me all his goddamn problems on a regular basis, that means no problems become mine, because as he telling me his problems, I'm thinking about how to solve them in my mind, so they become my problem on top of the problems I already got. Think about that. Sometimes it's best not to even try to hear that shit or redirect the conversation. Have you read the Metu? Oh, what the fuck is that? And I bet you that nigga hang up. Oh, shit, I'm going to call you back. Take them to your round. And you ain't really got to worry about people. Like I used to do, I ain't want niggas to ride with me when they got in the car, start talking God body. I thought they were going to get out, though. But evidently, they was picking up on the shit I was saying, because they was like, damn, I thought the same thing. I thought I was the only one that thought like this. And I was like, whoa, I was trying to get your ass out. Okay, cool. We're going to kick it like this. Why you ain't say nothing? Because everybody laughs. Everybody can understand. Now, if everybody do understand, it's just that who is going to be brave enough to say something about it? So a nigga was in jail 10 years, and I said, Joe, what you learned while you was in jail for 10 years? So I know you learned something. He said, you know what I learned, man? Not to give a fuck what other people think. So a lot of us are going through right now. And I said, damn, 10 fucking years of your life just to understand not to give a fuck what other people think. That's how serious that shit is and how powerful it is on the soul. And what that is the way other people lock you into the matrix so you won't get out. Because you're worried about what other people think. You got a hieroglyphic mind frame. You want to express certain things. You see the synchronicity of bullshit that you hear, but you don't. Because other people say, oh, you crazy. But deep in their soul, they kind of knowing what you're saying. And even though they don't know that the ancestors are going to show them 3 or 4 days later. And then they're going to come back and say some shit when you thought you was going to say it, you wanted to say it, you didn't say it because the person was going to think you was crazy. They're going to come back and say exactly what you want, what you were supposed to say. And then you're going to wish you had to say it. Fuck that. Say it. Think about it. Hieroglyphic mind frame. 95-year-old man in preschool with a bunch of kids. That's how I look. And you worrying about what these babies going to think about you. That's how I look. Anybody got anything they want to add on? I mean, am I making any sense to anybody? Going once, going twice. All right.